Hey, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Raza Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, want to give praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechachodash. Double honors to you, apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and blessings unto the hopeful and sincere elect, Bahaya Kodash. That's the holy elect, Baha Raza, in and around the four winds of the earth. Greetings, man. Just a quick update in regards to this recruiting of soldiers. As of late, I think Trump, aka Nero, sent another 1,000 Marines over there, foot soldiers, over there towards the Middle East, in regards to the Strait of the Hormuz situation that's going on, ongoing, and situation that's going to keep increasing, escalating to the point of no return. Other writers are this be the pivotal year of World War III, or the end of it, basically, when the nuclear missiles be pushed. The buttons get pressed, from all different forms of the earth against Babylon the Great and Pisrael, and destroy that habitation, man, once and for all, with the fire of the Lord's indignation, the weapons of his indignation being those ICBM missiles. But in the meantime, between time, you got these recruitments, the conscription that's going on, and ex-Marines getting called back to be put on, on shift, basically. And you got this latest article from the People magazine or People newspaper. It says army mom's kids thought she was safe overseas, then she was killed in Iran. War, husband says. So you women are, crying for equality, and you got exactly what you wanted. And now you're going out there on the front lines, leaving your family behind, your kids and your husband, which makes no effing sense. Because the whole point of you being a mother is you're supposed to be at home, nurturing and providing for your damn kids, while your husband is the one supposed to be out there defending and protecting your honor, so to speak, and protecting the household. But, this backwards society pushes and promotes women to do things that's out of their nature, like be on the front line of war. Woman is not built for no damn war, man. Definitely not no third world war, which is going to be nuclear. And so this heifer went out there thinking that she was safe, supposedly told her kids that she was safe, and now she's a corpse, man, rotting over there in the Middle East somewhere. And that's exactly what's going to be happening to the majority of the people that get conscripted or put in a draft to go over there, man. You're going to be told to go over there and defend your country's honor, not knowing that you're not coming back to the homeland. You're not coming back to your home base, basically. You're going to die over there and gather maggots and so on and so forth, from decomposing and all that. Your body's rotting over there in the Middle East, because that's exactly where you're going to die. That's going to be a punishment from Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, upon the wicked, especially 2/3 of our people. And we just saw in another article now that they said that they're going to raise the age. I think it was 18 to 26, and now they're raising it up to age 42. So people so-called going through a midlife crisis in their late 30s or going into their 40s, you're going to be required to join the armies too, man. You're not exempt. If you ain't got the spiritual mark, the Dawa, means a mark of exemption from Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and only Israelites can have that mark anyway. You're going to be sent over there to the Middle East if they recruit, in your area, which they will, in your towns and your cities and your states, and you're going to be, shipped over there to the Middle East, the Levant, to Yahweh Shaphat, the place of the Most High's judgment, so they can plead with you there with the other nations, man, meaning to judge you. It says U.S. Army raises upper age for recruits to 42 and scraps marijuana restrictions, because as of late, there's been a lot of soldiers trying to basically restrict stop from joining into the war. A lot of soldiers are basically giving up that patriot spirit, and they don't want to defend or fight for this guy Trump, because they know he's nothing but an a-hole, and he's setting them up for failure, basically fighting a war that they didn't start in the first place, that they started in the first place and didn't want no parts of. But Trump and these oligarchs wanted this to happen because they got a bigger plan. It's called the New World Order plan, agenda, and so they wanted to start this war over there in the Middle East so they can take over that landmass, so on and so forth. But, so a lot of the soldiers have been caught red-handed, basically, purposely smoking marijuana, and basically not being fit for making themselves not fit for service, so they can get dishonorably discharged, so on and so forth, man, and have a reason not to go over there and fight in this illegal war that these devils started in America, man, and Pisrael, because they the American, the Patriots, spirit of America, and that spirit is dead now, man. People can see what America is, what it truly is, and what they represent, and these illegal wars that they keep putting their lives on the line for. It's not for their benefit, man. It's for the benefit of the wicked elite, the banking families. Because all wars are banking, all world wars or wars in general are bankers' wars. So they're the ones that benefit from this, man, not the soldiers that go out there and put their lives on the front line for these devils. So members of the U.S. Army are seen during pre-race for Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Coca-Cola 600 Speedway on the 28th of 2017 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, it's just a picture, I guess. But yeah, so now they raise up the age between 18 to 42 now. So that's a vast number of people that they're going to recruit, men and women. And they don't care if you've been smoking any marijuana or whatever. You're still fit for purpose, man. You're still fit for duty. So you're going to have to show up, or you're going to have to get penalized, face a penalty, or go in jail, or whatever, or fines for not basically, fulfilling your national services or some, whatever they call it, But the draft is definitely coming. So yeah, this heifer over here, she got taken out, and that was good for her ass, because you women have no business being in no damn military in the first place, man. You're not built for no army. You're definitely not built for no war. That's a man's duty, and that's a man's, basically, it's part of a man's makeup, basically, to be a man of war. Women don't, do these type of things because they're not built for it. They're the weaker vessel. But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna go straight to the scriptures, because that whole example of her body stinking over there in the Middle East, is gonna be a lot of bodies gathered over there in the Middle East that's gonna basically stink up the earth, and that's gonna be the first job of the wicked elite, pursuant to Ezekiel 39. They're gonna seek out men for further employment. We're going to enslave the world leaders, starting with the nobles and the kings, with fetters of iron, bolts of iron around their necks and their arms and their ankles. And they're going to be the first ones to be burying those dead bodies over there in the Middle East, the Levant area. And that's going to be their first job, to cleanse the land, especially the Holy Land of Israel and the surrounding area, man, and regions, from all those dead bodies that's stinking up the land, basically. So this is Joel 2, and this is after the nuclear missiles. So it's Joel 2 and 20. It says, "But I will remove far off from you the Northern Army," which is what, the American Army, USA. You can slap the USA flag right there in that precept. It says, "And will drive him into a land barren and desolate." Where's that? Over there in the Middle East. Place of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh's judgment, man, Yahweh Shaphat. It says, "And with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the uttermost sea." So the east sea is talking about the Red Sea, and the hinder part is talking about the Red Sea, and toward the utmost part, which is talking about the river Euphrates, man. So in between that land there, that's going to be the place where the majority of these soldiers, multitudes and multitudes, are going to be gathered together in the place of Yahweh Shaphat, basically, for the place of the Most High's judgment. It says, "And his stink shall come up." Yeah, even her stink too. His stink and her stink shall come up, man. There's going to be more dead bodies, more dead females, and more dead males stinking up that land over there in the Levant, man, in the Middle East, or between the Red Sea and the River Euphrates, that land there, the peninsulas and all of that body of land surrounded by water. There's going to be a big stink. It says shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. So this is what the judgment of the Lord is. He's gathering those nations over there, especially of the northern army, which is America, like this woman here, and their bodies are gonna, decay and decompose in the land, stinking up the land, and they're gonna be needed to be buried by the new slaves, which are Edomites, starting with the wicked elite, and these other nations too. That's gonna be their first job in the kingdom of heaven, man, under Yahweh Shai. And the Israelites starting with the elect. They're gonna have to clean the defiled land, the holy land, because that land's gonna be, compiled with a lot of dead bodies too, decomposing and decaying. And they need to cleanse that land and rebuild it to the Lord's spec, basically, according to the scriptures, like in the book of Tobit and Revelations 21. Streets be paved with gold and so on and so forth. A golden city, basically. And that's going to be Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, the city of peace. And that's going to be the main base for the government of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai under, Yahweh Shai and King David, man, and his mighty men, which is the 144,000, the elect. So that land needs to be cleansed and then rebuilt by our slaves, So she's just going to be there decaying and add to the death pile that's going to be, colluding over there in that region, man, in Iran, in the neighboring cities and towns and whatever you want to call it, states, in that Levant area, man. It's going to be a stink shall come up, yeah, and an ill savor shall come up, because what does the Lord say? Just like America, there's going to be a major sacrifice in Bosra. So America's going to be a major sacrifice, and that land, only difference is that land's never going to be inhabited again by a human being. After the nuclear missiles drop, that place is just going to become a desert of destruction, man, So, but the over there in the Middle East, there's also going to be another sacrifice, being the Yahweh Shaphat, the place of the Most High judgment, and the land of Israel, man. That's going to be another place where a major sacrifice is going to take place. And that's where the ill savor and those stinky bodies are going to be decaying, They need to be buried. So that's a beautiful precept to give an example of what's going to happen to you women out there that want to join the army or get, re-registered and, get conscripted in this modern day draft. And the age is between 18 to 42. So it's going to be a large number of people, especially 2/3 of our people that's going to be recruited, man. The Lord said 2/3 of our people shall be cut off and died, and that's even in Babylon the Great. But a lot of jakes are going to be shipped over there to the Middle East, man, especially these YNs and these YNBs. This is like Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation. Yeah, to pour upon them his fierce anger. It says, in his righteous anger, that it says, even all my fierce anger, it says, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. And not the whole earth's going to be devoured, meaning to be destroyed, but Esau's kingdom's going to be devoured. The beast system's going to be devoured. America's going to be devoured. Israel is going to be devoured, man. The land barren and desolate, that's going to be devoured. Because that's where the Lord's gathering these nations for the Third World War, the war to end all wars, man. And it's coming quickly, man. It's definitely coming quickly. Who knows 6 to 8 months from now what it's going to be like. All we need and all we're waiting for is the last major prophecy of the mark of the beast to be implemented and made mandatory. And as soon as that is given the green light by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all bets is off, man. No holds barred. It's going to be a very dark and gloomy day, a day of wasteness and desolation as it tells you, man. And the Lord's going to let the 4 angels loose around the river Euphrates to pour upon them his indignation. Because the elect are going to be sealed for deliverance and salvation. And the Lord said to let loose the 4 angels that's gathered around the river Euphrates, because they're the ones that's holding back this nuclear destruction right now. That's why the nuclear buttons are not getting pressed right now, because the angels are actually, preserving the time until the set time, because no man knoweth the time of the day of the Lord other than the Heavenly Father, man. See, when he gives the green light, all bets is off, But as I said, we will not see that happen until the mark of the beast has been implemented and made mandatory around the four winds of the earth. So this is beautiful times, man. Everything is playing out the way the Lord intended it to, because it's a fulfilling of his will at the end of the day. So this is Joel 3 and 2. It says, I will gather all, in the same thing again, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. It says, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Yeah, who's in the Lord's land right now? Them gutter rats and a bunch of Arabs calling themselves Palestinians, and the Israelis. They parted the Lord's land. They're not supposed to be over there. So that's why the Lord's going to blow them to hell and back. He's gathering all their armies over there in the Levant area, and he's going to plead with them it's like a plead with them, which means to judge. Plead with all flesh. So there's going to be a lot of dead bodies over there piling up. The snake's going to come up, as I said, that it will save. And Isaiah 34 tells you, man, there's going to be a major sacrifice in Bosra. Modern day Bosra is talking about America. So as I said, America's going to be a major sacrifice unto the Lord too. The only difference is that land is going to be uninhabitable after the nuclear radiation and destruction comes upon that land. 200,000 warheads, as pursuant to Revelations 9 and 16, man. Which is 200 million different missiles, basically, or warheads, destroying that whole land. Turn it into the forbidden zone, literally. So it's beautiful times, man. So you women out here that want to, scream for equality, feminism and all that BS, yeah, now you got your time. Now's your time to shine, innit? Jump in the war and defend the honor, basically. And that's the last place you're going to see. Because you're not coming back to your family and all that. You left your family behind to go and fight from some illegal war that ain't got nothing to do with you. And you're going to die over there for your stupidity and your incredulity. So Isaiah 3 and 12, 3 and 25, so thy men shall fall by the sword and the mighty in the war. So it's not only men that are dying in the war, the women are going to be dying too. And it says, Second Ezra, we all know the scripture. Second Ezra 16th chapter talks about, the bridegroom having, the women crying because they have no bridegroom, the virgin having no husbands and all that. But you women are going to be dying over there too, because you obviously you're incoherent and don't understand that, a war, you women are not built for no war, man. You are the weaker vessel. The Lord made you the weaker vessel for a reason, and he made you to be a helpmate unto the man, and the man to protect and be your security, basically, be your safety net, not the other way around, man. So she got what she deserved anyway. She's a heathen, so I'm not concerned. But this is just another example of why a lot of you women out there thinking that you're gonna go and fight over there in the Middle East on the front line, you're gonna be sadly mistaken, man. Just say your last goodbyes to the so-called motherland of where you came from, so to speak, because you're not going back there. You're gonna die over there, in the Middle East. So anyway, with that, I want to close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Wadash, and Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.